Fans, you're here at New Vision Pro Wrestling. The term legend is tossed about a lot in wrestling, but in this case, it surely applies. 8-time NWA champion Harley Race. Harley Race, welcome to Canada. Welcome to Wrestlevision.
Well, it's always nice to come back up here, just 50 mile up the highway. It's where I won the world's title the second time.
We were talking before we went in here. Your book, which is published by
Sports Publishing out of Champaign, Illinois. The second version, I shouldn't say second version, the softback copy of it came out, and it's got about 4, maybe 5 extra chapters to it that the original doesn't have. And again, it's kept on a clean basis where it's fan-friendly, family-friendly, so kids don't, or the parents don't have to worry about kids reading it and embarrassing themselves and their mother and father.
Do you think that, I mean, that's one big difference from wrestling now as opposed to, say, 25 years ago was, you know, as violent as wrestling can be, it was a little more family-friendly back 25, 30 years ago. Wouldn't you agree?
In the context of what's happening in the ring, yes. Nowadays, it seems like that what happens before and after the match means more than what's actually happening in the ring. But the WWE puts out a great product. We can't say they don't. I think what I just saw here tonight, quality-wise, inside the ring, is as good as there is out there.
Now, you're a promoter yourself, WLW, which you corrected me. I said it was in Kansas City, Missouri, but you corrected me. And tell me where it's based in.
Well, it's actually Eldon, Missouri, which is about 6-7 miles north of the second largest man-made lake on the face of the earth, Lake of the Ozarks. It's got more lakeshore miles than the state of California. Wow. So it's a big lake. It's a real fun lake. And this time of year, the only reason why I'm away from that lake is I make these personal appearances. I enjoy doing it. It's fun doing it.
You mentioned all the people you worked with and who you won titles from. Who was your favorite to work with of all the wrestlers you worked with? Do you have a favorite?
The names that I just shot off to you a minute ago, any one of those guys would be right up there at the top of that round. But the most important match that I ever had was the first time I won the world's title, and that happened to be against Dory Funk Jr. And the second being, the only 2 brothers that ever held it is the Funk brothers, and I had the honor of beating both of them for it.
You wrestled also extensively in Japan. I mean, what was it like wrestling in Asia and Japan? I mean, the style differences for those who don't see a lot of Japanese matches.
Well, if you notice, the Japanese out here heads up against one another. There wasn't a whole lot of punching, a whole lot of what we call foul things done. They're a lot more into the wrestling part of it. And if America had stuck with that style of wrestling, I think we wouldn't have just little independent groups running someplace. We'd have a big conglomerate of wrestling promoters worldwide again.
Harley, and correct me if I'm wrong, you also held the tag team titles. I think it was in AWA with Larry the Axe Hennig. In fact, you held those before you held the NWA titles. What was it like with the Hennig family?
The Hennig family, on a personal basis, to me, is one of the nicest families on the face of the earth. Larry and Irene Hennig. Larry was my tag team partner for virtually 5 years. And we won the world's tag title 5 different times in that length of time. As it moved on and Kurt came into the business, I have Kurt's son at my school in Eldon, Missouri right now, Joe Hennig. And the Hennig name is going to be involved in wrestling as long as wrestling is still out there.
I just want a couple more questions, Harley. Now, of course, I'm not part of the wrestling fraternity, but wrestlers, they talk about legendary barbecues and cookouts at the Harley Race home. Can you tell us a little bit about that? It's just something that stays amongst the wrestling fraternity.
It involves all of us. My wife puts up with this thing while it's all going on, and like you said, it's in the wrestling family, so that's where it's going to stay. The only one that has to tolerate it is my wife, and she does a good job of that.
Does she prefer that you do the cooking instead of her?
Well, there's some things that she knows I love to do, but the key word is I don't have to do them very often, so it's always fun having them around.
This is one final question. Wrestling schools all over the place, people trying to break into the business. If somebody was serious about being a pro wrestler, what advice would you give them?
Come see Harley Race at World League Wrestling.
I can't think of a better teacher. Harley, a pleasure meeting you. True legend, true gentleman. Thank you.